He's here, but let me just quickly introduce our main speaker for today. You'll be hearing his name, Augustus Vranken. Augustus Vranken.
This is Franken, and like she's already said, first of all, how I usually start my programs, I like to break the ice. So I want you to look to the person next to you and introduce yourself to them. Now look at that. Some of you don't know, but that could be the next business deal. Just shook your hands with. This is what unity brings. Every day, every single month, I do what I plan to do, and I achieve what I plan to achieve. This is my satisfaction. That's why I know I am a success, and I want you all to also understand. Now, how did I get to this point? In 2012, I traveled to Liberia, after 25 years. And after living in Europe, I never got the results I wanted, no matter how much I tried. So I started to question myself, why? And then I thought about, and then a proverb came to my mind, two proverbs that changed my life, and it's the reason why I'm standing here today. One proverb that said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is insanity. For years, so if some of you think you're insane, then you double check yourself after this. I spent years doing the same thing over. I made a lot of money. I made money. If I lost it also, I spent it, I made it. But the essence wasn't about money. But I kept doing the same thing over and over, trying to change my situation. It never changed. Until this proverb came to me and I realized, oh man, I'm insane. And then the next proverb that changed me was when another proverb that says, this is also my country, it says that a mad man ceases to be mad when he notices that he's mad. When he has come to the understanding that he is mad, that's when he ceases to be mad. Or he remains mad forever. So when I talked about these two things in Liberia, I said, oh wow, hey, what's going on? So I made a decision. That was during December. I had not been to Liberia for 25 years. So it was a chance for me to do something new with my life when I came back into Europe. And faced all my bills just like everybody else. Faced chasing clients just like everybody else. But then I made it. I used to go into the city of Monrovia, and if anyone knows Liberia here, Liberia suffered from a 15-year civil war. So if you go there, you would notice war has been there. But that was one of the major things that changed my life, because when I saw the situation, I thought, wow, this place is pretty messed up. But then I also realized, why did this place become like this? And I traced it back to one person, one man, who made a decision. And his decision led to a series of decisions, right, that got supporters, people to support him, also made decisions to bring death, to bring war, to bring destruction in the country, right? So if you trace all these things back, even if you look at Hitler, when you do your research, you trace it back to one person who made a decision. So then I realized, oh, wow, okay. So if this guy can do such a thing based on his decision, I wonder how much I can do based on my decision on my own life. Because his decision caused millions of deaths, right? According to the research. So then I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to go back to Holland now. I'm going to face my challenges in Holland. But what am I going to do? Because my decisions impact people. My decisions lead to a series of decisions that attract people to agree with me and also make decisions, which ultimately impacts people. So then, remember, I'm not insane anymore, right? Because I'm not coming back doing the same thing again. Yeah. So I decided, you know what? I will come and do what I have never done before in order to get or go where I have never been before. That was my decision. And it does not matter how much bill I have to pay. It does not matter how cold Holland will be when I get back. My decision was that it does not matter the situation. When I get back there, every single day, every single week, I will do what I've never done before. And since then, in 2013, that's when I changed my business name. I was like, you know what? New business name, new friends, old ones out the window, new clothes, new smile, new hair, everything. And then I realized every single day I experienced something different because I was busy doing something different. I never got the same money I got before. You know, I did not get the same friends I got before. I didn't even get the same projects I got before. Because I realized, like, look, life is a live and die thing. There's no in between. It's either you live or you die. So for me, I was like, okay, you know what? Even if I die trying, I'm going to do it. But obviously, I'm not dead. I'm still standing here. You know, so my business partner and I, we got together and said, you know what? Let's put our minds together. Because I came back and I told her, look, whatever we did last year, we're not doing the same thing anymore. She's like, okay, what do we do next? I was like, we're going to start a business together. We're going to just do what we never did, period. She's like, okay, so what's the next, you know, she was like ready to go, you know? So we said, okay, everything we did since then led us here, right? Yes, everything we have done led us here, and it's taken us somewhere else. So this event, I'm going to jump straight into the topic so you can put it on. This event is called Wealth in Unity. Because we have realized that our decisions impact people, correct? Yeah. So we decided, you know what? People might not know what to do with their lives. But it takes one person to make a decision and cause a domino or chain effect to impact everybody else's life, whether they like it or not. Because whether you like it or not, the community is going to make decisions. And so you can link everything that happens in your community, happens in your house, according to your taxes, whatever, is a decision one person made, and it came down to you. Yeah. So I decided, you know what, in my life, I will make decisions that impact people who want to change their lives also, because my life has already been changed. I'm living it, and I don't need people to live with me, but I want to help people live theirs. So today I want to talk about wealth and unity, and how do you achieve that? Now, as someone who I spent, maybe a lot of you guys spend your days working, as a researcher, I spend a lot of my time researching. I spend my time reading books. I spend my time listening to speakers. I spend my time covering topics that the average person probably never thought about, you know, covering. I did it. But in order to understand what I want to achieve, because I want new information in my head as well. I want everything new, and every single day I add something new to it. Even in my emotions, I add something new, you know? So, today I'm going to go over decisions and also understand this is how we achieve wealth and unity. So, decisions, vision, mission, communication, and listening in order to achieve wealth and unity. Next time. Now, I will just skip through this so that you're looking at it because I have everything already, right? Because I practice my craft. I know what I'm talking about. I spend my time doing it. So I already went over with you insanity. How do you end insanity? Because if you find yourself doing the same thing year after year, you're insane. Yeah. You need to understand that. And I need to bring it to your attention. Why? Because when you come to realize how insane you are by doing the same thing every single year and expecting different results, it does not matter if you're making 5K a year, 10K, 20K, 100,000. It does not matter what you're doing in your life. If you're repeating the same things and getting the same money, getting the same friends, getting the same everything, you are insane. And you need to, what? Stop being insane and change it. So how do you change it? You have to do something different. Right? Yeah. To get where you've never been. To impact your destination, because you have a destination. Your destination is not where you end up every month. That's a direction. Your destination is where you end up after everything is over. That's your destination. So, decision to unite. That's what we're focused on. Because we came to realize that poverty is a result of this unity, lack of network, lack of knowledge. You ever heard from lack of knowledge when people suffer? Right? Where does knowledge come from? Have you ever thought about it? Everything you know, it has come from somebody else. You did not learn it from the sky. It came from someone. Even if it was in a book, someone gave it to you, right? Yes. How did you connect yourself to that person? That's network. So, in order to change, you need to change the information you have. If it's from the same people, you're insane with them, right? You need to add more people to that amount of people, right? To cancel out your insanity. Now, vision to serve others through products or services. This is very important because this is what changes things. everything is linked to a product or a service. Now, I'm not saying here I say go and sell a product or a service, but everything is linked to it, no matter how you look at it. All right? Now, in order to achieve, to make decisions, make a decision to unite, to be together, to be united with your special group, with your country, with your community. Promote unity. You understand what I mean? Make the decision to be united, whether it's with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, but live your life based on the fact that you're united with somebody else within your network, and then decide to have a vision. Now, this is where, personally for me, as a migrant as well, I see a lot of people suffering who are also migrants in this area, because there's a trouble when it comes to being united, and having a vision. If I go to most people and ask them, what is the definition of vision? Most people don't know. And that's the truth. Even, at some point, I didn't know myself. So go to the next slide. Also to understand that decisions do 2 things. Decisions destroy or they create. That's a fact. That's a principle. You can decide to create something, or you can decide to destroy something. So now we go to vision. Vision, first of all, is a sense of perception, right? To see ahead. That's what you have to understand. When somebody says vision, what do you see ahead of you? Now, understand one thing. If you do your research and you look at all the wealthy countries, the superpowers, they're all united. They follow a vision and they're united. And they're not going left and right on their vision. If you see a Chinese person, you know him for being a Chinese person. And in every country he goes to, there's a Chinatown waiting for him to give him a job, give him something. Because they're united that way. And you're not going to change them. You understand? So that's a vision. That's how you track visions now. When you see an Indian, right? You know all the Indians and what all the Indians do. It's not about a race thing. I'll go into why they're doing that. Now, this all towards wealth and unity requires purpose, reason for, or having. So you need to have purpose. Whenever you're part of a vision, you want to have a vision, you have to identify purpose. That is, why am I part of this vision? That's what you're looking for. That's a purpose. Why am I living? That's a purpose, right? In a relationship, why am I in this relationship? Right? That's a purpose. So you always want to seek out your purpose. Going further, then we have values. You must have values. Every vision, right? So we understand they have purpose and they also have what? Values. You must look for values. And what are the values? The guidelines, right? And belief on how things should be done. That's value. So you must have values. Not value, but values. Do you understand? Your principles. Because it's your principles that attract friends. It's your principles that attract opportunities, and it's the same principles that keeps others away. Some people don't have principles, they just roll with anybody and they end up anywhere. Right? So if you want to get somewhere and exactly where you want to get to, you need to have principles and you need to lay your principles down. Yeah? So for some people who might think, oh, this guy, sometimes people that I'm stuck up because I don't talk to him. Why should I even smile? I have principles. You understand? On this day, I'm studying, that's my principle. On this day, I have my workshop, that's my principle. Right? On this day, I'm working. My principles maybe cause me to work to 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, but that's my principle. So if anybody calls me or tries to, I have a principle, sorry. You understand? Even down to, it can be even the most serious people. This is my principle, and I don't budge for it. Right? Because it got me where I am right now, so I'm pretty confident about it. So now, purpose and value tell us how we are expected to play along, right, in a vision. So when you want to be a part of a vision, you identify your purpose within that vision. Are you an accountant? How are you affecting the overall vision? Are you a model? Are you a business owner? Are you just an investor? Everybody has a purpose within the overall vision to achieve something, right? And that achievement is in what? Unity. We apply our skills, knowledge, and personal mission to achieve overall vision. So we all work together, right? She's a carpenter. He does roofing. He does plumbing, right? And what do we build? A house. Yeah? The house was the vision. But we all work together. We play our individual role. Next slide, please. So, the overall vision is important. And the overall vision is what I call the pride. You ever heard of lion's pride? Right? All lions grow together. Right? That's called lion's pride. Now, can you penetrate the lion's pride very easily? No, I don't think so. Especially if you're what the lions eat. You don't want to enter lion's pride. So what is a pride? And then remember, pride is part of the vision, right? So vision has pride. What is a pride? That is what? to perceive who you are, to preserve who you are. The pride preserves who you are. So you have to be a part of a vision that is intentionally there to preserve who you are as a person. Whether your race, whether your values, your purposes, that vision that you're in needs to preserve it, needs to keep you, that years from now, right, what you represented, that vision needs to keep you. So if some people understand where I'm going, preserving yourself is part of your pride. And that vision has to preserve who you are. Now, also the R, that's to remember our past. Meaning, when you're part of a vision, that vision needs to have a past as well. That vision helps you to achieve that past. And like I said, this is all about unity, right? So you can be united in your culture, united in your academic field, in whatever united, it needs to follow this principle of pride. Improve who you are. The pride has to improve who you are. It has to make you better. It has to make you sharper. If you're part of a network, part of a vision, and it's not doing that for you, then you need to recheck it. It needs to push you to your next level. That's what a pride does for you. Then D for develop, maintain dominance in a particular area. So when you're part of a certain pride, you are known to be dominant in a specific area. When you look at, like I said, I'll go back to Chinese again. When you look at them, they're dominant in food. Yeah. Everywhere you go, there's Chinese food available for very cheap prices, right? Yeah. So I don't think you want to compete with them, right? But you as a part of a vision, whether it's your nation, your group, your province, it needs to follow a guideline that maintains dominance. There's some groups that maintain dominance over the world. The Western culture has done it. You understand? The Eastern culture has done it. So you need to check your side as well. How much dominance have you also had? But what part of a vision? Because you can't do it yourself. I cannot go and dominate the whole country, right? I just have a pride to do it. So then, educate the future generation. So the pride now, right, it starts with you, preserving you everything, but the end goal is to what? For the future as well. Because you bring your children up in a pride. Now this is a thing that I realized that a lot, especially I would say, even my migrant community suffers from, is understanding what the pride is about. Everybody just dispersed everywhere. And guess what? That's where you always find the poor people. Yeah. Because the people who have wealth, the people are like my friends and friends I always want to continuously have, right? We roll together, we think together, we're calculating together, we have a vision together. If we're going to make something happen, we make it happen. You understand? So all that stuff comes into pride, but it has to do with a vision first of all. So next slide, please. Now, within a vision, you have a mission which follows, right? So the mission is like, okay, the vision is the overall end. We see where we're going to go now, but how are we going to get there, right? That's what a mission comes. And within a vision, a united vision, the mission we're looking at is measurement of internal success. You always need to check that. So that means you cannot find yourself a part of a group who is not measuring its internal success, because you have to measure yours as well. And yours has to have academics, politics within it, business within goods and services, technology, psychology, emotions, and etc. But this is all the measurement of your internal success. For example, how do you measure internal success? Next slide, please. You have to be aware of the vision. Constantly check yourself for evidence of internal success, and know that internal success impacts external results. So, if you are seeing things in your life are not going the way you want it to go, then you know your internal success is messed up, right? You need to fix it. So you don't try to change what is on the outside. You check your internal success. So meaning if you're in a certain business area and you find yourself lacking, it doesn't mean that business is not going to work. Check your internal success. How educated are you about your industry? Does IT or technology have a role to play? Get some more knowledge in that area. Or maybe, for example, I have some friends who are also into stocks. They let me know it's more emotional thing. You have to check yourself emotionally. Because sometimes when you're even in business, or sometimes maybe you're raising a family, it doesn't matter. Emotionally, there is a level also where you check your internal success. Meaning, if you don't have a certain level of tolerance and you want to deal with people, you're in the wrong area, right? A level of patience. So there are different things you need to check your internal success. But when you're part of a vision, checking your internal success becomes a whole other story. Your internal success becomes the reason for the vision that you are part of. Next slide, please. What am I saying here? Checking into success comes down to communication. Communication is key, is very important. If you check all wars, all countries that are fighting, all families that are separated, all relationships that never work, what do you come down to? Communication. Because he is saying something, he says A, she says B, right? They never say the same thing, or the two guys are just talking. I even did a research where I was, looking at even, for example, African countries and things, and I came to realize that people are not aware of the fact that they're communicating. Because when I'm talking to you, maybe in your language, you have some words backwards, and I take it as an insult, and then I start stabbing you and shooting, right? Yeah. So it's communication, but once we come to understand, oh no, I'm trying to communicate with this person. I'm not trying to kill them. I'm just trying to communicate. Let me know what they're saying so I can let them know what I am saying. Now, when you reach that stage of awareness, that is when you're checking internal success. That's when you're checking your level of communication with the other person. You're trying to reason, right? Out. When you find yourself not reasoning fully, then you know there's a problem. Maybe, like sometimes, I used to have a problem with communication because I read too much for my own good. So when I try to talk to some people, they're like, what are you saying? What English are you speaking? So I had to learn to, okay, hold on, people, so let me not try to use certain words. Not the fact that I'm smart enough, because they're more intelligent. And some of them are clients, and I need their money. Yeah. So I had to also learn how to, control my communication so I can get something across to them, right? So communication is key. Direct communication is also one of them. That's where communication starts from. Promote the purpose of your unified vision and mission. And we come down to the pride again. So when you're communicating, effective communication is more effective when you're communicating with someone in your pride, someone in your vision. Communication is more, like for example, we're business partners and I don't know him, right? Now I meet him later on and we're having a certain conversation and then he's also jumping in the conversation. Who is more important to the conversation? No matter how the conversation is going, him. So when I'm communicating, he's going to be more aware of it than him, right? So communication is very important. The awareness of each other's internal success and pride is also very important. So when you communicate with someone in your vision, you need to be aware of that person's internal success, meaning their level of understanding, right? It can be in academics, politics, business. You need to be aware. And especially if the person is in your pride, right? So you're talking to one another for the bettering or the improvement of what? Your pride, which is the vision, right? Next slide, please. So then we also have indirect communication. Indirect communication, to just sum it up, you learn to identify people who are in the same vision as you. Meaning, for example, if a Chinese person sees another Chinese person somewhere having a fast food business, right? Yeah. He's going to want to patronize them, right? Because what? All the money goes back to China and makes China what? World superpower. Yeah. You don't understand how I'm going. So it doesn't matter where they go. Once they see one another, they know what the vision is. Yeah, I even did a research, found out that, when most of them look the same, when they die, they just switch ID with someone else. And keep it moving. So some people have been living for 100 years, right? But what I'm trying to say is that this is a level of vision. It's a level of vision that you live for. It's a level of vision that you reason for. And then you always look for those who are within the same pride as you. If people are not in the same pride, like for example, if I'm a part of a certain group and somebody else says, I live for that person, even if I see them on TV, right? Or if I see they have a shop, when that person's in the same vision as I am, I patronize, I send people to that shop. Even if he has a shop, I can care less. Because when I send people to his shop, right? Overall, when we're doing something together, maybe we invest in something, maybe we invested in something, he needs more money. I will indirectly, he doesn't need to tell me, because we're part of the same pride. Yeah? So we need to be united in this soul. What they achieve over time are part of the objectives, meaning, indirectly, if we're working towards a vision, you must be achieving yours. She is into forex, she must be achieving hers. When I communicate with her, the purpose is to make sure she succeeds. If I notice that someone within my vision, or who can impact my vision, is having a program, I make sure he succeeds. So when we're doing it, when we're talking to one another, right, we uplift one another. intentionally because I'm aware of your internal success, and so you're aware of mine. And when I succeed, when you succeed, we affect the overall vision. So a lot of people, I realize, don't understand that. That's why you see, like, I went to my country and I saw it's still destroyed. Because there's no vision. When there is vision, everything comes together. Because everybody starts to work towards a certain goal. When there's no vision, they said when the chicken, when you move the head, everybody just running all over the place, right? So when you place all of this down, who does it come down to? One person who made a decision. So the next one, before I close. So then in communication, we have to pay attention to listening. Like my colleague earlier said. Now I'll tell you a short story. There was a prince, and he was going to be the next king. So his father told him, said, well, you have 12 more years to become king, so I'm going to send you off to the Grand Master to go and learn. So he said, what am I going to learn? He said, you'll know when you get there. That's a school for kings. You don't learn with other children. So he said, okay. So he went to the Grand Master, and for 12 years, he had to spend his time in the forest, learning how to listen. That's all his goal is, because if you understand what kings do, they listen more. They have to listen to everybody's problems, everything. So that's, as a king, as a young king, that's what he had to do. So on the 12th year, for his final exam, he came in, and the Grandmaster said, okay, what did you hear? He said, yeah, I heard the trees moving, I heard the flowers in the wind, I heard the grass, move in the wind, I heard the birds chirping, I even heard the crickets. The Grandmaster said, but you haven't heard. He said, but I've heard everything. For 12 years, I've laid out everything, even the water, everything, the raindrops. He said, go back, spend your last week. So in the last week, he was listening. And then he heard. So he went back and said, Master, I heard. The master said, hey, what did you hear? He said, I heard the unheard. Grandmaster said, yes, you've heard. So he said, what is the unheard that you heard? He said, unlike this time, though I heard the grass move in the wind, but I heard the roots of the grass drinking. Master said, okay, so yeah. He said, yes, and I also heard the flowers opening when the sunlight hit it. That's listening. Listening does not mean only sound. Listening means your inner ear. Just like my colleague said, if you hear somebody saying that, I really need money, I cannot afford this, right? That's not what you're listening to. That's not what you're hearing. When you're listening to is that I need to increase my finance, right? And then you become aware of his internal success, which is how far is he academically? How far is he in technology? How far is he emotionally? Because that's what he's lacking in, right? So his ability to listen. So we go to the next one. Wealth in unity. This is where everything I said is going to come down to, right? Because I talk, right? So wealth in unity is achieving wealth in unity means following a vision focused on helping you achieve wealth, right? So in order for you to achieve wealth, you know to say it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? And who you know is a network, right? So it's about who you know, unity. Now, understanding your role and purpose and value. So within a unified vision, you need to understand your role. But your role, your involvement in the unified group should what? Impact your immediate environment. I've learned from a lot of programs, a lot of things that does not immediately impact me. And as an entrepreneur, I've been bombarded with that same thing. From my workshops, people are like, oh yeah, what you're saying is really theory. How can I do something now? How can I go home and do it now? Right? That's the world we're living in. And it is possible to give someone something that they can do now. So what is that thing? That thing has to impact their home immediately. It has to, you know what your home means, right? The children, the bills, that's the impact immediately, right? Their province, that is their state, the neighborhood, and their nation, right? Help or encourage you to be the best you can be. That is when you're part of a vision that is towards helping you become successful. It needs to make you the best that you can be. So when I made my decision to become first the best that I can ever be, right? When I made my decision to never do the same thing, every month I don't do the same thing anymore. What I did last month is, and the people I've been impacting just been growing and growing and growing. So I realized that it's possible, very possible. Right, so next slide, please. So we come down to God is Dust and who we are, what we do, what we stand for. God is Dust is a vision, right? God is Dust is a vision initiated by Care Expansions, right, in building people and building businesses. Because we're a consultancy firm, and that's what we are into. Our aim is to give purpose and promote values to help others achieve internal success. That is God is Dust. So remember when we spoke about internal success, measuring your internal success. So even after this, you should go home. You start to measure your internal success. Measure what's happening in your life. If you're doing the same thing, you didn't get the same results last year, you give us a call and you tell us, I'm insane, I need you to change it. Yeah. So, we're also into building jobs and assets. That's what it does. Care Expansion will build people and businesses. What it does, we're into building jobs and assets. Now, jobs, you know what a job is, right? Job pays your bills, right? Jobs, sometimes we call it just a broke. It's still a job, right? I also have a job, apart from a business, right? But when we talk about building assets, assets are things that bring money into your pocket, right? This is our definition, which is also back to Barbara Kiyosaki, one of my mentors. Things that bring money into your pocket with or without your participation. But it will always take your participation, right? So we encourage people to be involved in assets. Have your own small business at home, or have your own small business in a shop, right? Or have your own real estate. Rent your house. No, I'm not saying rent your house. I don't go home and, right? But you go look into real estate. Look into things that will bring money back to you, apart from your job. You understand what I mean? So, we already understand what a job is, right? Assets, right, are investment that brings money back to you. Assets act as an extra source of income. They help win the battle over poverty. Because, yeah, I already won that battle. I'm sure everybody else in here. And if you haven't, you give us a call. We'll help you beat that. So, long-lasting jobs and assets are results of long-term visions. Right? You're going to work for a company that will go fight in 6 months. Close me. Right? So, that is what you pay attention to, the vision. If you're going to have a job, you pay attention to the vision of the company you're going to work with. If you're going to be a part of a business or get into business, it has to have a vision on top of it, or you create your vision. Or if you're going to be a part of a vision, you yourself must have a vision next time. So, to finish off, a vision that helps each person to achieve what? Their own vision. If you're part of something that's not helping you achieve your own personal vision, then it does not serve a purpose of a pride. Which is what? To preserve you is the first one. Right? Then, purpose, value, pride, and then your internal success. So when you're part of a vision, it has to cater to your internal success, to how you grow academically, technology-wise. It has to meet all those needs for you. So just to let you know, this is what Augustus is into. We've been in business now for 6 months, and we have a very long-term vision. Augustus program is free for people. Next slide. That's it. So this is about vision. So within Augustus, it's a free program. We have workshops. We invite people. We stimulate them, and then we tell them about the importance of the financial area as well. So after the break, we'll go to a break now. After the break, we'll come back in, and then we round everything up. So once again, my name is Augustus Vranken. I am a speaker. I get contracted to speak as well for different organizations. I even do workshops. My partner and I, we prepare workshops, curriculums for people, and we give a presentation. For me, this is my life. This is what I do. I'm successful because I'm doing exactly what I plan to do, what I dream of being, right? So that's why I'm able to stand up here today and be bold enough, not because I'm showing off, but because it's what I'm really doing. I'm producing results in my life, because it is my decision, and now I want to impact you guys. If you give me a chance, Augustus for 1 year, we impact you, free program. If you don't see changes, or if you don't see things changing in your life based on the decisions you're making, which I doubt, because everybody who is a part of Augustus are having results in their life. So before I close, I want to bring up my Augustus team. So before we go on a break, I just want to show you guys, because of time, they won't be able to come up again. Within this team, after the program, you can talk to them. We have stands in the back as well. Yes, you are. These are Augustus team. They are shareholders of Augustus as well. They invest their time, they invest their mind, they invest their money. They made this possible. There are also other people, they're not here. But These are people, like you said, you trace it back to one person who had made a decision, right? So these people wanted to make decisions, and they found Augustus as a place that serves their vision, serves their purpose, and they're achieving it. Each one of these people actually have their own businesses, they have things that they're doing. Okay, we have another person as well. So after the program, you'll see some of them, they will come and advertise what they do. We have NGOs, business owners, models, even those who work in the Commenta, right? So we have different sets of people. This is just like half. Some people were not able to make it. So now we'll take a break. If you have any other questions, you can talk to one of these individuals. After the break, you get your coffee and tea. We'll go into the next segment of the program. So I thank you very much for coming, and I really appreciate you. Thank you.